This is a review of last night's Bigfoot Quest. I didn't get to hear it live. I took a little nap. I fell asleep. So I listened to the archive of it, and it was a really good show. The guest was Michael Rugg from the Bigfoot Discovery Museum and the Bigfoot Discovery Project. That's www.bigfootdiscoveryproject.com. And he discussed an interesting tooth that was brought into the museum, which was found by, believe it or not, a person who was more interested in shark teeth. And this tooth, it looks very much like our teeth. It looks very much like a human tooth, except it's a little bit bigger, and it's about the size of a penny. And it's petrified, interestingly enough. It's a petrified tooth. Never heard of that. I have a tooth of my own, but I don't know what it is. But anyway, Michael Rugg has this tooth that he's hoping to send it to a forensic analyst in Texas to see about having it tested for DNA. What he wants to do is make a cast of the tooth first before he sends it off, because the forensic analyst told him that most likely they would have to drill into the tooth and it would destroy the tooth. So he would still have a replica of the tooth, but not the tooth itself. But he discussed that. He also discussed his sighting, how he got interested in Sasquatch, how he got interested in starting the museum and the Bigfoot Discovery Project. He also discussed some vocalizations that have been heard in the area, in the Santa Cruz Mountains. He discussed sightings that have occurred there. Some very strange stuff that's going on in the Santa Cruz Mountains and in the Felton, California area, where people have seen things around their homes, around their farms, things of that nature. He also talked about he said that if it turns out that this is nothing but wishful thinking, he says he's going to be more skeptical than ever, but he says there's no danger of that because he thinks that there is something going on there in that area. He briefly discussed and touched on the Patterson-Gimlin film as far as some of the analysis that's been done on it, and the fact that he's met Bob Gimlin and believes that Bob Gimlin is above reproach, and I share that view, by the way. I share that view of Gimlin being above reproach. But certainly it was a really terrific show. He touched a little bit on the DVD he's selling about the Georgia hoax, but he only touched on it briefly. He didn't really dwell on it very much. And it was a really good show. Bob and Mike did a great job. There were several questions asked from folks in the chat room. Abe called in, Abe Del Rio, aka the Elusive One. He was asking about the tooth and about possible DNA extraction, things of that nature that could be done on the tooth. And then he kind of made a joke at my expense, saying that, I better, get off the line so Henry May can call in and ask 20 questions. He was getting back at me for the stuff that happened on the show from last week, I think. Abe, message received, my friend. Believe me, message received, buddy. I got you, buddy. Don't worry about it. It's cool. It's all good. But anyway, it was a really good show. I enjoyed listening to it, and Bob and Mike will be back in a couple of weeks. I'm not sure who their guest will be. They're not even sure who their guest is going to be. Bob said that they don't even know who they're going to have as their guest, but it's going to be in a couple of weeks, 9 Eastern, 8 Central. That'll be on March 9th. March 9th, 2010. Bigfoot Quest will be back. www.blogtalkradio.com/Bigfoot_Quest. And as always, we do encourage you to please tune in and support great research.